An album a day is my exploration into the Korean music scene. This podcast will cover mainstream, indie, and some underground artists within the scene and provide both factual and opinionated commentary. The biggest benefit to sharing my thoughts this way is that it will hopefully expose you to more great music and exploration of your own. Welcome to Final Thoughts, a 100% unscripted closing for today's artist. Enjoy select songs from the discography of today's artists and more when you search for the hashtag A3Day Highlights playlist on Spotify. Anchor.fm listeners will hear select songs from today's artist during this episode. As always, patrons of An Album a Day have exclusive access to my private playlist, but please remind me to update it. I'm bound to forget. Let's get started.
You're tuned into An Album a Day. Show, start.
We've made it to the end of 3RACHA's mixtape discography. I was about to say catalog, but I mean, that's one and the same as well. So we are on the album called Horizon, which on their official YouTube channel, the full album was uploaded just a year ago, even though this was dropped in 2017. Everything that they did was dropped in 2017. So on December 20th, this was literally after the Stray Kids survival show finale. They released the EP titled Horizon, and it had a lot of the songs that they had recently uploaded anyway to the SoundCloud platform, but it was in its whole cohesive album format then. So it's 27 minutes and 29 seconds. Gotta look back. Hold on. Let me double check. Yeah, it's 27 minutes, 29 seconds, and definitely one of the most ambitious approaches to producing a mixtape that I've heard. Now, they had just a brief moment to musically celebrate the fact that all 9 that participated in the group, or I don't want to say, because I didn't watch the show, I can't specifically say if it was only 9 who competed. So let's go ahead and find that out instead of assuming. Ding, 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 ding. I just remember the promotional calendar for it, that red background with all the young men on it. Let's see if it always started with 9. Now, I remember keeping up with 16, very much so, because 16 is the reality show that eventually developed Twice. And I'm a fan of those ladies, but I did not keep up with this show at all. Strays. Stay. On September 21st, JYPE revealed the show's title, Stray Kids, along with its logo and social media channels. The first image teaser featuring the 9 members was unveiled on October 9th. So I assumed that the show was only looking at 9 of them as a whole, and 9 are in turn who debuted. So 3RACHA making up a third of that, literally. I guess Horizon was a big celebratory project for them, and really a space for them to test their might, like Mortal Kombat, but test their might on different approaches to producing their music. This particular album, although all 3 of them are mixtapes and they have some similarities, this one definitely gave them some space to test new cadences and how they deliver their raps, incorporate some harmonies in terms of singing and complementing the track in that regard. The production styles change a lot from track to track, but it cohesively fits, and that's bold. That's how you do your job, you know. Going back to Wikipedia, let's give you a little bit of actual factual. Let's do some details. So we're looking at a portion of time in January 2018. Even though this was the last project, it still needs to be acknowledged because there was a pre-debut Stray Kids EP called Mixtape, and we'll get to that many letters from now. But, quote, in January 2018, 3RACHA released a single titled Start Line to celebrate their first year as a group. The pre-debut Stray Kids EP, titled Mixtape, was also released, composing of songs performed on the Stray Kids Survival Show, with 3RACHA having writing and production credits throughout the release. So they still carried on the responsibility of completing, but carrying on and compiling a mixtape vibe for the young men. I have genuinely only listened to 1.5 Stray Kids songs in the entirety of the group's existence. So this makes me very interested in anticipating what I'll hear later on. And by the time we reach them anyway, which will be sometime in maybe late 2020. Wow, we got so long to go. By the time we get to them, they will have a lot more discography under their belt, and 3RACHA in turn will have a lot more experience under their belt. So it'll be a rich experience. I'm excited. I really am. Horizon, again, like I said, 27 minutes, 29 seconds. This bad boy has 8 tracks. The lyrics were all written by the gentleman, but the music and the mixing were done heavily by CB97. That boy, he is out here gaining these writing credits. Like, that's what you do. You come in and you make a stamp on your group. You make a stamp on your industry and really just turn up. Just big deal turn up. So he's progressively taken the reins on the music and mix of what they're delivering. And that's huge. He also did Start Line and Zone for 3RACHA, which was a 2018 single. And like I said, like, you just, it's a big flex. Like, go for it, young man. Man, oh man. So K-pop fans, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being essential listening and 1 not worth mentioning, the A3-day rating on this, Horizon, is a 5. And their entire discography is a 5 as well. These young men really slug it out the park. I'm not 100% sold on one of them when it comes to how he raps, but I think that's because I can hear the youth in his tone. That's about it. The unfortunate thing about it is I don't know which one that is. I'm not certain which member that is, where I can hear the youthfulness of his delivery. And that's just a personal opinion, but it does not take away from the fact that this album in their discography is a 5, and they are making massive strides within their group and within the entertainment industry as a whole. Can't take that away. I just don't like youthful sounding voices in general. You hear how husky mine is, and I have to lighten mine up in day-to-day interactions with people just so I don't sound like I have an attitude or that I'm sick or anything of the sort. I'm not. I just sound like I got a lot going on in life. So they are 5s. They're 5s. And let's go ahead and wrap things up. Shout out to the Megwalas, the most amazing fan base a little entertainer could ever have. And special shout out to my Patreon patrons, the student body, and the scholars who keep my vision of becoming your favorite Korean music historian, exploring all the industry from A to Z, a real thing. If you're interested in supporting the growth of this podcast and supporting content, please visit patreon.com/multifacetedacg. And for as little as $1 a month, you can support this podcast by making sure I can keep halls, cough drops, and Ricola around so I don't sound like I'm somebody sick, ain't he? One thing that I found very interesting on here, I added hoodie season and pace to the hashtag A3Day highlights playlist. Hoodie season has some funk on it. It's really, really cool how the song has an open drum pattern, live drums, if you will. And it very well might not be. It still might be digitally done. I do it from time to time as well. When I produce, I like to get the live sound of instrumentation, even if I don't have a live instrument player. So Hoodie Season has a live drum kit sound, and it's very open. There's a lot of acoustic opportunities for it, where I like that. There's a lot of reverb and a lot of echo as well. And then you go from Hoodie Season and drop into pace, and it feels nothing like the song it just turned off, and that's huge. Placebo is another one that doesn't sound like anything you would expect on a mixtape. So these gentlemen really did their thing. I'm excited about what else they bring to the table. I'm always excited about learning about new producers and new ways of creating music and sharing that artistry with the world. And I really hope you at least check them out. If you haven't, I got a couple of tweets. It made my heart so happy to see a few messages from Stray Kids fans, Stray Kids supporters, and then genuine bona fide stays. Now, I am a multi-fan, and within the world of K-pop, a lot of people, they might call themselves the fandom name as being a part of that and whatnot. For me, what it means to be a part of a fandom is you're supporting the efforts, you keep up with the merchandise, you keep up with the V lives, the random little uploads that they do. That's an invested fandom name fan. But that does not mean everybody has to be that. You can still be, oh, I like, this song and this song by Stray Kids and that works. Or I like this song and this song by 3RACHA. That's fine. Like, you don't have to be more than or less than anything you want to be. But I so ask that you give these young men a chance and you listen to at least a few songs, possibly the ones on the Spotify playlist. That would be helpful, because then you're getting exposed to 6 different ways in which they approach being the rap line of their group. I swear you'll like it. I swear. And even if you're not a huge fan, you'll still walk away with at least some respect for them of saying, well, I guess I can see why it's a 5 or a 4. Even on their video for the upload of this album, there were a lot of people who left comments like, hey, we're excited for what you're doing. It's thrilling that all 9 of you will be together. I'm not a huge fan of rap, but this blew my mind. Like, come through, okay? Like, changing lives, all right? So that concludes this. I'm excited for these young men. That's my final thoughts on everything. And yeah, what a way to end this week. Also, I'm super behind on it. We didn't do it last week, but this evening on the podcast, you'll be getting some special episodes. We'll be looking at rookies. We'll finally do Rookie Roundup. My evening is jam-packed with still cramming in a few more groups to listen to, because I need to do at least 4 groups per episode. Whew, Jesus, Joseph, and Mary. So I hope you're ready for that. Let's enjoy that together, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye, y'all.